Can you remind me what day and time I need to fly to San Diego? All right, June 16th, 7 p.m.
The first time these glasses gave me back information from a random conversation I'd had several days ago, something I never wrote down, never tried to intentionally save, I was pretty blown away. Because now we're taking the smart glasses category to the next level. These are the newly released MIRA glasses. And what's interesting about these is this is not just another camera on your face. It isn't a little screen mirroring your phone. No, these are glasses that quietly listen, remember, and then hand you back something from your own day that increases your productivity or genuinely assists you. But then I kept using them and I kept bumping into things that felt half baked. Not some futuristic stuff, just basic things, the kind you'd expect any pair of glasses at $650 to get right. It gave me a real glimpse of where AI glasses are headed, but it also made me feel like I'd opened the box a couple of months too soon. And if you followed my Even Realities G2 coverage, that's the frame of reference I had when buying these glasses. Mira is trying to live in that same no camera, everyday glasses lane, but with speakers, memory, and a much deeper assistant layer. So the question isn't just, are these good? To a lot of people, it is also, is this the more powerful, even realities G2 alternative people have been waiting for? Let me start with the reason these glasses exist: memory. You start a session, Mira listens, and later you ask it what you said. Not trivia, your actual day. So you're not asking a chatbot a random question. You're asking about something that actually happened. What did we decide? What was the concern that came up? Can you summarize the key points? And when Mira had captured the conversation, it answered really well. I asked about something from hours earlier or even the previous day, got a clean summary, then pushed on a detail, and it went and found it. And this wasn't just a parlor trick. One day I left a session running from before 8 in the morning until past 4, a full day of genuinely complex conversations with the glasses just sitting on my desk. At the end of it, I asked for a 3 point summary of the thorniest stuff I had been discussing, and it came back instantly with a tight, high quality summary. Not vague AI slop, the actual substance of what was said. That's really the moment the whole second brain pitch stops sounding like just marketing to me. What also surprised me is how seamlessly it flows. Capturing and asking aren't separate modes. With a session running, I can still pull up the assistant and ask anything. I can launch something like the teleprompter, and it keeps recording in the background. Even when I fold them and set them on the desk, the glasses just keep going if I want them to. Now, plenty of companies are promising that this kind of memory is coming. Mira's the only one I could actually buy and use today, and this aspect of it felt like a superpower. If memory is the most exciting feature, translation feels like the most finished one, and I did not go in expecting that at all. Set it to auto, start a session, and whatever language gets spoken comes back in near real time. Fast, accurate, almost no lag across the 60 plus languages Mira supports. No setup, no start command, no phone menus, it just works. And it folds right into a live session on its own. Someone near me slipped into another language, and the translation simply appeared on the lens, with literally no mode switch or input needed from me. There's also a show to partner mode, so the person across from you can follow along. Translation runs both directions, not just into your eyes. The AI assistant is promising too, and can do the usual bread and butter stuff really well. But the small detail that stuck with me was that when I ask a question, it shows the sources right there on the display. With glasses putting confident answers into your eyeline, the worst version is one where you have no idea where the answer came from. There's even an option for me to ask the glasses to fact check parts of the conversation in real time. The other feature that felt most like the future was email and calendar. I connected Gmail and could just ask, what was the last email from a given person? Summarize that thread. What's on my schedule? Then watch it pull onto the display and compose a reply without touching my phone. And I could do it mid-session without stopping the memory capture. It truly did feel like I had a personal assistant working for me. The trade-off, of course, is that you're handing a wearable AI the keys to your inbox and calendar. I personally wouldn't connect my primary email just to play with it. But for someone who actually wants this workflow, the capability is impressive, and it gets even more interesting if you start connecting MIRA to tools like Claude Code, which the glasses also allow. One small win I appreciated more than expected was notifications. They show up, fine, lots of glasses do that. The difference is I could click into a message and read the whole thing, long ones included. On the Even G2, a long text gets cut off and you're reaching for your phone anyway. There's also a teleprompter. The idea is fine. The execution is just buggy. Unlike Even and others, it's manual scroll only, driven by the ring with no timed scroll, no pacing to your voice, and if the display is already asleep, it just won't launch. Now, the physical product. As mentioned, MIRA is in the same general lane as the Even Realities G2. No camera, everyday looking glasses, a small display, more socially acceptable than camera glasses. But MIRA adds speakers, memory, and a deeper assistant layer. The first thing you notice is how light they are. At 39 grams, I'd half forgotten I had them on by mid morning, and for all day glasses, that's most of the battle. Unlike the Even G2, MIRA has built in speakers, so it can talk back and read things aloud. A real edge in principle. In practice, the audio output was one of the flakier parts of my testing. Sometimes it spoke, sometimes it went quiet. The capability is ahead of the reliability. The hardware letdown that was most disappointing for me was light bleed, the display leaking light outward so people near you can see your lens lit up, especially in a dark room. I'd hoped MIRA would finally crack this. It didn't. In my use, it felt closer to the Rokit display glasses than I'd like, and a step behind the Even G2. That's the thing that keeps me from wearing display glasses in certain settings, and it's unchanged here. On the other hand, battery surprised me in a positive way. I left them running all day in listening or transcribe mode, close to 9 hours, and they went from full to about a third. That clears the day with room to spare and even beats MIRA's roughly 10-hour claim. Now, the caveat is that it was with the display mostly off, so heavier screen, translation, and AI use will drain it faster. And then there's everything that reminds you that this is a young product. The packaging is bare bones. No charging case, just a magnetic wire into your own USB-C. Next to the Evens, it feels like a startup's first badge, which it is. The software tells the same story. I couldn't find a wake word. Hey Mira did nothing, were the even answers to Hey Even. The controls I wanted most weren't there either. Nudging the display when it's at high, easy volume, some basic dashboard, basics I expect to find quickly. The home screen is sparse too. Basically two options, transcribe and ask Mira. None of the at-a-glance stuff that Even gives you, and once you start a session, there's no clean way back to it until you stop. And while the product feels like it's aiming towards proactive notifications, in my use, it mostly waited for me to ask rather than volunteering information. The ring I do like in principle. Discreet, good for scrolling, but it did drop its Bluetooth connection at random, which was frustrating. When you step back, most of this is the same thing. Early software growing pains, the speakers cutting out, the ring dropping, the teleprompter stalling, stuff that works one day and not the next. Most of it feels like software rather than a bad core idea, which is exactly why I'd want to revisit these in a few updates. One thing that is important to say explicitly, no camera doesn't mean no privacy questions. These are built around listening and transcription, so the responsibility shifts to you, being aware of when that mode is on and whether the people around you know they're being transcribed even when the glasses are not on your face. To MIRA's credit, they say the audio is deleted once it's turned to text and the memory stays on the app. Where I land is simple. MIRA is the most exciting, unfinished pair of glasses I've tested recently. The memory, the translation, the way it all runs in one session, those are real and they work. What's missing is polish. A proper home screen instead of a two option start screen you leave behind once a session begins. Software that doesn't drop the speakers or the ring mid use. More sophisticated uses of its memory, like automatically creating action items, follow ups, or structured meeting notes, and a fix for the light bleed. And the money is more complicated than the sticker price. It's $649 to start, iPhone only for now. Some features are free, but asking the AI about your day and getting it summarized, the part that is one of the core value propositions, is only free up to a point. After a 30-day trial, going unlimited is $20 a month at the moment. So here's the buying decision. For someone who wants something settled, especially the more discreet, no camera, no speaker, everyday glasses experience, the Even G2 is probably the safer, more polished buy right now. But for someone who wants an AI assistant that rides along with you for the whole day, one that translates in real time, answers questions with sources, and actually remembers the context of everything you've talked about, that's something that even simply isn't built to do, and it's where MIRA, rough edges and all, is genuinely ahead. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune back in to catch my coverage of AWE 2026 coming up soon.